Yours, sorry?
So I've just gone live on the TV.
All right.
Okay. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Sue. Let's move you over there. There we go. Hi, Jane. Okay, so this camera's going to pick that up, isn't it?
2 seconds.
Using our new setup.
It's good. Volume-wise, it's fine.
Yeah, this live was meant to be yesterday, but now, hooray, we've got an extra bonus live this week. Florentines. I'm going to do both versions. I've got the Creative Bakes cookbook in front of me, but it's also on the website. I've linked it in the description of the videos. So first step is to melt the chocolate and get it into the mold. I'm going to do half the chocolate because if I do all of it, then it will have probably set by the time I get around to doing the second caramel. And you want at least some, like the chocolate to be slightly soft so that the caramel will join with it. So I'm doing half the chocolate, so 50 grams. Hi Anita, hi Dawn. How are we all? I'm using a bit of leftover 95 and then the rest of it's going to be 85% chocolate. Okay. 48. Close enough. I know it isn't Emma. So this is again using our new setup, which I like a lot. Okay, that's going in the microwave. I've got a lid somewhere. Oh, do we have the little lid?
I've not seen that one. Just use a lid.
That's right.
Just use a lid.
Chocolate's fine. Okay, so obviously you don't want to burn your chocolate. I've got that one in for a minute to start with, and then as of that, it'll be 30-second bursts until it's almost melted. Then just stir it, and you'll be able to melt the rest of it. In terms of cases, I'm going to be using just little silicone muffin cases. You can use whatever mold you want, but our like mini chocolate molds are a bit too small for this. I mean, you can always do it in them, but you'll be there for ages. So these will do just fine. I don't know how many I'll get. Hi Danielle. Hi Maxine. Okay. This one will probably need one more burst in the microwave. Just going to give it a mix because obviously it starts to melt more when you mix it together. Do you know, actually, no, it won't need any more. Okay, so the two sauces, the two caramels that I'm making, one is the popular Michelle's sugar-free Werther's butterscotch sauce, and the other one is a cleaner version, which uses almond milk, butter, and cream, and a bit of sweetener. Okay, chocolate's fully melted now. Well, one little bit left. fully melted. I'm going to divide that between cases. How many does it say? 12. So I'll try and divide it between 6. Well, really, I should get one more case in then, shouldn't I? There you go. So I'm just doing a spoon. You just basically want a disc of chocolate at the bottom. Hi, Julie. Okay, yeah. There's 6. Okay, so chocolate won't take long to set because it's very, very thin. So I'll start with the butterscotch sauce. So this is caramel number 1 in Creative Bakes. Again, I'm going to do half. So this will be for these 6. So I need 5 sugar-free Werthers. Now, you have to be quite specific with these. You want the hard-boiled ones, and you actually want Werthers rather than the own-branded ones you sometimes find like in Aldi and places like that. They don't work as well. Dad's making a racket over at the corner. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I know you can hear me fine. So if you're a little bit low on Werthers and you think you're going to go through a lot, you can find them in bulk on the website. Don't eat them all in one go. So 5 Werthers are going in the pan, along with 50 grams of double cream. And you basically just stir it until it forms a butterscotch sauce. And this is very, very popular for obvious reasons. However, obviously, some people might not want to use the sweeteners in them, which are isomalt and acesulfame K. So it's up to you. I prefer the cleaner sauce, which I'll make in a minute. Grams. Okay. All right, so it's not on a high heat. The Werthers start to soften straight away, and just keep stirring. They'll melt in to the cream. It takes about 5 minutes, and you get a really thick, glossy sauce. This can be used in a lot of things. You can freeze it, and it stays like kind of gooey. You can use it as like a glue. You know, if your cakes fall into pieces, you can use this as a glue. Yeah. In this case, it's going to bind with the nuts and create that sort of caramel flavour. But you can see the cream sort of bubbling. Heat's only on number 4. You do want a non-stick pan for this. To be honest, I've not had it stick to a pan, but I can imagine if your pan's pretty old, it wouldn't be a good idea to make this. So the cream's gone a little bit darker now, a bit more golden. I'm just kind of squishing the Werthers down. So you can see, hang on, let me see if I can pick that up. So the Werthers sweet has kind of squished now. Starting to melt into the sauce. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. God. And now it smells amazing. And you can see, obviously, the cream's starting to hold together a bit. It's all around the edges of the pan. See, that is a Werther's. Okay, almost there. The Werther's are pretty much gone now. There's a couple of dollops still, but they're melting very quickly. You can see it's kind of holding together in a sauce now. But obviously those stringy bits are where the Werther's are still kind of holding. So we need to give them a little bit longer. Okay. Just get another spoon. All right, so that's pretty much done. It almost looks translucent. So it's gone, obviously, a really, really nice golden color. It's the color of Werther's, but it's holding together. I'm going to whack it in this dish so that we can add the nuts. Okay, so I'm going to leave that just for a couple of minutes whilst I set up sauce number 2. Smells amazing. So the clean sauce. Again, I'm going to do half quantities. So almond milk is the bulk. So I want 50 mils. You want to be careful, you don't want to go over on this. It's not going to affect it. It'll just take longer to form a sauce. And it's already a bit, well, it's longer than the Werther's one. Again, half quantity, so 15 grams of double cream. And then same butter, 15 grams. I think that might just be this little bit here. Come on. I need more. There's some in the butter dish. That'll add up. There you go. Okay, and essentially it's the same method. Keep stirring. This one takes a little bit longer. So just put the almond milk, butter and cream in a pan, gently melt and allow the milk to reduce while stirring constantly. This will thicken into a glossy fudge sauce after around 15 minutes. I've got less in the pan, so it might take a little bit less, probably around 10 minutes. But I'm just going to let that melt. In the meantime, we can start off with adding some nuts in. So for the full recipe, use 100 grams of nuts. Again, I'm doing half. So I've got some flaked almonds, which I've toasted very lightly because they were very, very thin. They weren't going to give a lot of texture. And then hazelnuts. You can chop these if you like. And pecans. Obviously, you can use whatever nuts you want, but I find pecans and hazelnuts work really well. And the flaked almonds are quite nice for a bit of a crunch.
Can you bring it in? Bring it to me. You're still at the door with the red ball.
Do you think it's an outdoor toy?
It's okay, you can bring it in. Bring it in. Go on. She's going to steal it off him.
She loses interest though.
Yeah, I know. But once she's had it, once she's got it. Come on, bring it in.
I don't add sweetener to this, Karen, because of the Werthers. I do add sweetener to this, but I'll add it a little bit later. There's no point doing it now. It's one of those things that you add to taste again, so some people might not need to use any. Okay, 50 grams. Right, so it's literally a case of mixing them together, trying not to make them escape the dish. I didn't realise Emma didn't have creative bakes. Yeah, it's definitely something, as Emma says, she's getting creative bakes when she reaches her goal.
Oh, okay.
It's got lots of things for, if you're doing like house parties and dinners and things, and you want a nice centerpiece for the table for dessert. That's the book. Okay, so just mix in the butterscotch sauce with the nuts. As you can see, it's kind of created like a thick. Sorry, it's not focusing. I need to figure out the autofocus. A thick sort of mix, and now it's a case of adding them to the chocolate. And then you just obviously allow these to set. So we're adding them to the chocolate before it's fully solidified so that it kind of encloses around it.
Wait.
You do get a decent amount of caramel. A little bit more in there. Oh. Yummy. Okay. Time to focus on this now. So I'm going to increase the heat. The butter's fully melted. And it's a case of get it to start bubbling and let it go thick. That's essentially it. To flavour this, you can use whatever you fancy. I think I'll use salted caramel essence. And obviously a bit of sweetener. If you like the My Protein flavor drops, you could use some toffee flavor drops. Whatever you fancy.
Tandoori.
Yeah. You doing some chicken as well?
No, I'm doing
Hmm.
whitefish.
Sorry, that looked like chicken.
Oh, right.
So we had some, as per our meal plan, we had some spare fish from, what did we make? Oh, the Wellington, salmon Wellington.
Yeah.
And then some sea bass in the freezer for Louis. So Dad's making some tandoori salmon and basa. So whilst this is melting again, I'll sort out the next lot of chocolate. Get that. So another 50 grams. You see how this is bubbling up? Actually, you can't because of the lighting. So obviously you can see it's still very runny. You just need to have faith. It will start, I mean, it's already starting. It's taking longer and longer to fall back when I create a gap in it. So these are great if you're looking for something to whack in the freezer. Both of these butterscotch sauces freeze very well. So these are great if you're prepping for a party, but you don't want them just there when you open the fridge. Have a look at these. You're not using the tandoori blend?
Oh. No.
You go the difficult way.
Yeah, it's going to make it fresh.
Okay, it's getting there. So the heat's on 4 out of 9. I'm just going to do a little sprinkle of sweetener. There's not much left in this packet, to be fair. And then a dash of salted caramel essence, which is just from Aldi. Aldi or Lidl?
What?
Salted caramel.
Probably
Aldi.
Yeah.
That's changed the colour a bit of it. So this is, without the salted caramel essence, this is a bit of a paler sauce. But to be fair, both of them work in a very similar way. They both freeze and have the same sort of texture when they're frozen. Here's the next lot of chocolate. So you just got to keep an eye on this. And if for whatever reason it's not thickening up, I mean, you do have to be patient, but if you stood there for like half an hour and it's not doing anything, increase the heat and add a little bit more cream, and that usually sorts it out. So we're almost there. Can you see I'm making a mark and it's taking ages to actually come back to the middle, whereas before it was filling in the gap almost instantly. This is one of the only recipes that using a different milk gives a different outcome. So I used whole milk and I ended up with like a white chocolate Kinder style filling, which is also in Creative Bakes. There you go, we're very nearly there. The last stage of this is you start to see a little bit of butter coming out, which once you leave it alone for a couple of minutes, it'll mix back in and create a really thick, glossy sauce. So we're very nearly there. In fact, I'll turn the heat off. Turn the heat off now. I'm going to let it separate, and then we can beat it back together. So if you're melting chocolate, always melt it before it's completely melted. So leave some chunks in when you take it out of the microwave and mix them in yourself. That's one way of making sure you don't get that white colour to the chocolate once it sets. There we go, nice and glossy. So that's going in the remaining cases. Excuse you.
Not just a big yawn.
Okay. Obviously, if you've got silicone molds, they're fantastic for this because they'll just, the chocolate and the Florentines themselves will just pop back out once they're set with no hassle. I suppose you could do this as a sheet. You could do it as bark. Write like a silicone sheet down or a bit of greaseproof. Pour the chocolate on as one big sheet. Let it set. And then, let it set slightly, and then add the Florentine mixture on top. So you can see it's kind of separate. You can see there the butter is kind of coming out. This is where you just mix it together, and it goes a little bit lighter. It smells great. Helps if you do this because it's such a small quantity. It'd help if I did this in like a little bowl, but there we go, sorted. So a nice thick glossy sauce again. So back in the tray, and another 50 grams of nuts. Okay, so same again, random collection of crushed nuts, whatever you want. These are already pretty crushed anyway, to be fair. What's up? I think she wants some salmon.
Just want some attention.
She does just want some attention. There we go. Do you know, especially with the salted caramel, you can't tell a difference. But yeah, just with the obviously the base, the salted caramel is an added extra, which I don't think it would be clean keto. It's probably the way it does have some sugar in it. It is used in tiny amounts. Actually, no, it's not sugar, it's maltodextrin in this one, but it's the last ingredient. So it's up to you what flavourings you choose. it'll still taste good if you just leave out the essence and use sweetener, because obviously caramelized butter tastes good on its own.
Just gonna blitz this.
Okay. What you blitzing there? Is that the marinade?
It's the tandoori paste.
Yeah. Hi, Sue. So I'm just gently pushing these down, because obviously you want them to solidify as one disc. You don't want bits of Florentine to fall off. Okay, there we go. That sauce tastes great. I realised I didn't taste it, that sauce, before I put it in, but there we are. So this side is the Werther's butterscotch, and this side is the cleaner butterscotch. Both recipes, they're on the same page, but the recipe page has been linked to the description of the video, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Just going to pop them in the fridge and let them set. Store them in the fridge or freezer. Both will be fine. And enjoy. Okay, I'll see you later. And it's your live tomorrow, aren't you? Making pork foo young.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Yes.
see you tomorrow.